Their 30-plus years on the air, The Simpsons has become something of a prophetic franchise, with several series plot points that became, to various degrees, a reality. Among the series' weirdest and wildest predictions were the winners of several Super Bowls, the Siegfried and Roy tiger attack, and most recently, Donald Trump's presidential election.
Hey, Homer, didn't you say if Duff Dry wins, your daughter loves you?
Not Duff Dry, Washington.
Okay, they're both great teams.
Because of The Simpsons' track record for calling the future sometimes decades before it happens, fans are now freaking out about what they see as an uncanny link between Tom Hanks' cameo in 2007's The Simpsons Movie and his coronavirus quarantine after he and his wife Rita Wilson tested positive for the virus. At one point in the film, the castaway star appears in an advertisement for a new Grand Canyon being built in Springfield. During the end credits of the movie, Hanks, voicing himself, has a little something extra to say.
This is Tom Hanks saying, if you see me in person, please, leave me be.
Many are taking this gag as a prediction of Hanks' COVID-19 diagnosis. But while there have certainly been a few shocking parallels between The Simpsons plot lines and real-life events, the connection between Hanks' quarantine and the PSA-style cameo is pretty thin. First of all, Hanks isn't ill in The Simpsons movie. He's simply using his credibility to help out the government and advertise the new Grand Canyon that will replace Springfield. It's easy to see how the parallels between the movie's quarantine situation and Hanks' predicament might have some crossover, but it's a weak link at best. Not only does the dialogue in question sound like something just about every famous person says about going out in public, but the circumstances of the quarantine are also drastically different. The cameo in Hanks' current status actually mirrors some of The Simpsons' other softer predictions, like the three-eyed fish Bart found near a Springfield power plant during a 1990 episode mirroring three-eyed fish that was discovered in a reservoir in Argentina near a nuclear power plant nearly a decade later. There are similarities between what happens in The Simpsons movie and what's going on in real life, but anyone claiming that the film predicted Hanks getting the coronavirus is committing a huge leap in logic.
Eepa! Trapped forever. It's all come true.
Over the years, fans and even some conspiracy theorists have helped build the myth that The Simpsons can predict the future. But the show's writers have long made clear that some of the weird or messed up things in The Simpsons aren't mystical. Back in 2010, Bill Oakley, an executive producer on the show at the time, told the New York Observer that the series' 9/11 connection in the City of New York vs. Homer Simpson episode is a completely bizarre and strange thing, but also acknowledged that the episode was full of World Trade Center material. That strange so-called prediction was noticed by fans who saw Lisa Simpson holding a guidebook on New York City featuring the price of $9 next to a picture of the Twin Towers. Simpsons writer Al Jean told BBC Radio 1 Newsbeat in 2019 that the 9/11 prediction was totally coincidental and chalked up things like the foreshadowing of Trump's election to just having a smart bunch of writers who read the news and tune into current events. In the case of Trump, it was all about remembering he had publicly expressed interest in running for president before. As Gene explained, if you make enough predictions, then 10% will turn out to be right. Writer Stephanie Gillis added, "We are sort of futurologists in that we write 10 months ahead, so we're trying to guess what is going to happen. In a property packed with references to art, literature, pop culture, politics, and science, and one that's written by some of the smartest people in Hollywood, maybe the only genuinely predictable thing here is that people will always read way too much into what The Simpsons has done in the past."
My prediction says...
You couldn't predict 6 o'clock at 5:30.